Welcome to another awesome week of Turn Up Bear Down. The Bears might be 4-9, but we are still here to give Bears fans hope. This week again, we're joined by our series regular, Matt Jansen. How are we doing?
It's a Friday.
Friday?
Just got done with some school.
Yep.
Teachers out there. We're on Christmas break, so I'm feeling loose, baby. I'm good.
Oh, for those Platte County students listening, we still have 3 more days to go, unfortunately.
Sorry, Kansas City.
Yeah.
Sorry, King. Gotta come up here to St. Joe's now.
We
St.
value education. All right.
We like the picks.
So this week we got the Vikings and the Bears. It's our Monday night game. Actually, in the teachers' lounge today, people were saying, "Wait, why are the Bears playing a Monday night game?" And I kind of agree with them. I'm tired of us playing primetime games because it's just kind of embarrassing. But you know what? This one could be fun. So this game, for what it is, rivalry game. We get to play the Vikings. We get them twice in the next 4 weeks. So I'm excited for this one. Let's talk about some of our key players or keys to the game. What do you like about the Vikings players on here, even though we don't like the players? My bad. Keys to the game.
No, you're good. You're good. It's been a long week for Scott, viewers. I'm just saying. It's been one of those weeks for him, and he's, you know what? This should show his fortitude and his commitment. He's battling. He's grinding it out. He's here. And so, no, seriously, the news is, a few of those coaches, coordinators are out with COVID. So is Matt Nagy going to have some fun all by himself on Monday for a full 60 minutes? So, yeah, that's scary. I don't know what that looks like. I know they're still Zooming and stuff, but I'm hoping that I would assume then that Matt Nagy's probably calling the plays this week.
For sure.
So, Scott, what are we going to see a lot of? What are we going to see a lot of this week?
Santa's sleigh. We're going to throw it to our offensive tackles or guards, whatever.
No, I would love to see that, but what are we really going to see, Scott? What do we see every week? What's it called?
We're going to see curls.
There you go. There you go. So, interesting game. If you watched that last Thursday night, not here with the Chiefs this week, but last week, the Vikings squandered a huge lead. I mean, they're up 29-0 at half. And so, not only it shows that Pittsburgh showed some fight and very well could have tied that game up and gone on to overtime or win it, whatever. I think that shows that the Vikings, even though they're going to be in that playoff consideration, aren't at that stage where they're stepping on throats yet. I think they still have some growth to do. I don't think they're a real contender. I will say Kirk Cousins has bounced back this year. Got to give the man credit. Yep. You like that. You like that. You like that. Finally, Dalvin Cook. Finally, Dalvin Cook is healthy. Healthier, and you obviously saw the impact he had, over 200 yards last week. And Justin Jefferson is the man. I mean, he's all of wide receiver one, top. I would say probably top 5 wide receiver in this league as of this year. So they have some pieces. The defense isn't what it used to be, but they still can get to the quarterback. They still have some notable names in that linebacking core and in that secondary. So this is a playoff team that the Bears are going to play against on Monday. And we're obviously not a playoff team, even though you come to me every week and say we still have a chance.
5. We win the last 4, and we're in, just like last year.
And so I'm interested to see. Hopefully, we get Akeem Hicks back. We have a huge, long injury list as of right now, so we're gonna have to see how that unfolds as the week goes. But I really would love to see just a throwback. Almost said 19. Of course, 1985. But let's get more realistic. A 2018 Bears version where we are dominant. We have dominated Kirk up until a little bit in the last year where he got a few wins. So as shorthanded as we are, and as one-sided of a coaching staff as we're going to have, or limited, let's just see what we can do. We have nothing to lose again. I really love. I loved what we did early in that game against Green Bay. I wasn't completely sold we were going to be able to still win that game, but just looking forward to seeing some good old-fashioned Bears football. I know I always come on the show and I'm like, hey, let's get away from that. But just knowing where we are in the state of this year and our current team, and we will not make the playoffs. I'm sorry, bold prediction. Such a bold prediction.
Prediction.
Like I said, I want to see some good old-fashioned smash mouth. I'd love to see Kirk on his back. I'd love to see Akeem Hicks barking and growling and drooling and spitting on people. Just that good old fashioned Bears smash mouth defense wins games. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm interested to see. I'd like to see a little nasty, okay, a little nasty, Scotty. So let's see. I'm really hoping that we can show up and entertain the fans for 60 minutes there at Soldier Field.
for sure. So yeah, I agree with everything you said. The Vikings look, honestly, at times there's a lot of games they could have easily won. They lost to the Lions in the last second. They should have beat the Cardinals, missed a field goal, and there was a few other games too they should have won. So this could easily be like a, I don't know, I'll say like a 7-5, 8-4 kind of team, but
Agreed.
that's just not where they're at. And I think that bodes well for us, even though on paper, like we shouldn't really win this game. We have so many problems, and we just continue to like show that in our games. But this is a fact. Matt Nagy has coached and won a lot of games against the Vikings. In fact, I think he's only got one loss against the Vikings. So this is what week or this is year 4. That means he's got to be 5-1 if I believe so against the Vikings, because we split last year and he swept his first 2 years. So he's 5-1 against the Vikings going into this one. There's just something he knows about how to beat Minnesota. Um, but hey, it's gonna have to be the Matt Nagy show this week because, like we said, it looks like all the coaches are in protocol, which is just insane to think about. And so at this point, I say give Fields a chance to just play his game. Let him throw deep. Let him do whatever because we have nothing to lose. And try to get some cheap turnovers and let's knock off our rival to the north. Well, I guess both of our rivals are to the north. You could say all three of them. So let's talk about some of the key players. Obviously, we got Kirk Cousins. You said you like that. We got Justin Jefferson, who is carrying my just-in-time fantasy football team to victory every week. He's averaging well
Fun.
over 20 points. And then Dalvin Cook, who's probably one of the top 5, if not even higher than that, backs in the league. For the Bears, I like Fields. I like him to get an opportunity to just have that prime time vibe, just like he did against the Steelers a few weeks ago, where he played really well. Robert Quinn still chasing some Bears single season sack records, and Jakeem Grant had a breakout performance last week. And what's he going to do this week? Can he continue to make some impressive plays? So, what are you thinking about these players, or about anything else that we've covered so far?
Yeah, yeah. Justin Fields, again, with the rookie, the pick six, made some nice throws, made some nice plays. I mean, again, just showing you some signs. Um, I will say, Robert Quinn, we all wrote him off last year, right? Just think about when we brought him in, the expectations. You pair him with Mac, and then really he has a lackluster season last year. And just look at what he's done, from this year to last, and especially now, you don't have Mac to draw any attention. So you're even taking on more double teams and chips that offensive lines are planning for you instead of Khalil Mack. So give the man some credit. He has bounced back well. I would agree. Jakeem Grant. I think we finally saw, the kind of impact he can have on a game. Not only in the special teams game, but offensively, he is a gadget player. But he does have some it factor. I will give him credit for that, no doubt. Also, and I've also heard this in other circles, a lot of people are saying now that Jakeem Grant kind of makes Tariq Cohen obsolete and kind of, not there isn't as much value there now. And I'm not on that side. I think he still has value as a back and what he does. I don't think he's going to play this year. What it looks like. But just what's Jakeem Grant's role going to be as the season moves forward? They obviously traded for him. I think it was a 6th rounder from Miami. So, how does he fit into our future? He's obviously never going to be a guy that lines up and takes a bunch of snaps and, gets 10 targets a game. He's not built for that. But how will this regime and then again next regime, if we retain him, utilize him? Because I do think he's got it. I mean, I'm not comparing him to Tyreek Hill, but when he catches the ball and the separation he creates right away does remind me of Tyreek Hill a little bit. It doesn't take much for him to get 5 yards away from you. So he's got some special qualities about him. And the last thing, just being more of a dominant presence, just getting Montgomery going. I never really felt like he got all the way going, even though we had a lead, and that's when you tend to lean on him. But I would like, again, in a game with the Minnesota Vikings, which again is a lot of identity. What's my identity? I'm more physical than you. It's always a physicality matchup. I would really like to see D. Montgomery drag four guys like someone from the Little Giants. But what's that running back? What's the running back with the Cowboys that drags like six Little Giants into the end zone? That's what I want to see, David Montgomery. That's what I want to see.
That's right. That identity, 32.
He is. And Justin Fields is the franchise. 32 is our identity. I love it.
I do
Shout
have
out to Dr. Phil. Hit a follow, baby.
Yeah. I do have a stat that I was talking to my cousin. He's a Packers fan after the game last week, and he said Montgomery didn't do a whole lot. And I said, yeah, you're right. But he had 42 yards on 10 carries. So why is he only carrying the ball? Volume. Why is he only carrying it 10 times a game, especially when you're trying to get Aaron Rodgers off the field? Right. And even though we knew the lead wasn't going to last, with the lead, you don't even have that many carries for him.
So, maybe he doesn't like to run curls.
Yeah, I don't blame him. And Darnell Mooney can't get open in curls. He can get open if you throw down the field. But anyway, we're not the coach. We're just avid fans that love to talk about how great the team isn't. So anyway, my prediction: Vikings 28, Bears 24. I made this prediction and then I checked the spread, and turns out the spread is the Vikings are favored by 4 points. So I'm on in par with the spread. I guess I'm taking the Vikings outright then with that.
That's not bad.
What do you think?
I would love to see us put up 24 points, and even another special teams touchdown or something would be great.
Yeah.
And so I'm going more low scoring, like it has been in the past. Ever since Matt Nagy's been here last 3-4 years. I'm going to go more of 20-16.
Yeah.
20-16. Again, I think Minnesota wins. They just have a little bit more than we do. A lot more, but they're obviously trying to gain some. They have a lot more to play for, than we do. And even though I think it could be a close one early, I just think they have too much on offense, and we're again banged up. We're missing our coordinator. I just think it's a bad recipe for a win this week. Unfortunate, because it would be nice to have one, but again, we have to start thinking of. I know we don't have a first rounder, but you look at every round of the draft, and if you have a top 8 selection in each round of the draft, that's when you get those gems that fall. So even though we don't have a first rounder, it's imperative that we get in the top of the second round and third and et cetera, so that we can get some of those steals and continue to develop, because we need talent. I mean, we are so depleted. We need a reinvigoration of talent here. And so I do think that draft positioning is important without tanking, but the win means less to me rather than us being in a better spot to draft some players that are falling, or some players that are in those spots that we can draft and develop. So 20-16 is my pick. I know I was close last week with the 3-2 us. So I'm hoping that again, and I'm going to go with that -4 spread. So take the under, betters.
What great advice, helping people make some money on the Bears. That's what we're here for. We should get a sponsorship from like DraftKings or something like that.
Next year, my man. Next year.
Yeah. We still got to continue to upgrade. Presentation changed for this year, but we can continue to do better. Hey, it should be a fun one. Even though I said like it is embarrassing to watch the Bears on prime time, I mean we still get to watch. Still get to watch the Bears game, get hyped for it, and we get to wait around till Monday for that, so we can enjoy our weekend and not be depressed when they play terribly. But that being said, a couple updates. 2 more games have been changed for this weekend. There's going to be 2 games on Tuesday now as well, and one of those is the Seattle Seahawks. But according to reports, the Bears-Seahawks game that takes place the following Sunday will not be moved. So the Seahawks are going to have 5 days to get ready for their second game, which, hey, we win this one, we win that one, all of a sudden we're 6-9 with 2 to go. We got the Giants and we got the Vikings again. We could easily win out. So, and
if you need any gleam of hope, you got my boy Scott Blakely, and he will pick you up.
It's the holiday season, trying to lift
whatever dark alley you're in, he will pick you up.
Lift some people up here, because, I mean, the reality is we're probably going to lose this one, but the other part of that is we have never had more of a potential to win 4 games in a row this year because we could beat the Vikings twice. I mean, it's a rivalry game, so anything can happen. And then the Giants haven't been very good, and Seattle has struggled as well. So who knows? Anything could happen with.
Especially if they have old Rubberneck Glennon starting. I think we'll be all right.
Yeah,
Tyrannosaurus.
that is for sure. And maybe Justin Fields will have a great final 4 games, and that alone could carry us to some victories. So we'll see what happens. The biggest problem and the reason why I want us to have some success is because I feel like Nagy's already done, but we're not going to get a high draft pick. And I know you mentioned that we might get a high second, but I was looking and we only have a second and a third until I think we have a fifth. So we're just not going to have many draft picks this year. Anyway, we're going to have to trade.
We get some compensation though from the last 2 years. I read that there's a chance we get some draft compensations. And
yeah, we're gonna have
I
to.
don't know.
We're gonna have to trade someone to get a higher selection. Maybe
we got guys, we got aging veterans,
maybe
left
like
and right.
yeah. I don't know if anybody wants any of those guys though, but maybe you have to trade. I don't know, Khalil Herbert. Maybe somebody will want him, or I don't. I don't think you would trade Montgomery, but if you think Herbert can get the
No,
job,
you don't trade him.
you can get
There's no
him.
reason to trade him if you have Herbert. Herbert hasn't shown you that he can. He's not David Montgomery. You can't
Yeah.
trade him yet. You could let Herbert go now, and you got Tariq, and you could always bring a backup in. So
Yeah, I kind of forgot about Tariq Cohen until you just mentioned his name though. So
we're good.
If he was in there, the whole offense would be completely different. I mean, this would be a championship level offense. Okay, I'm completely
All right,
sarcastic.
chill out. Yeah, he didn't mean that. He didn't mean that. Where's Raji?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
You
out
got-
Bears
yeah.
Nation. Happy Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah,
Yeah.
Happy New Year's. We're gonna probably have another episode before then, but I just want to cover my grounds with all of our viewers. Thanks for stopping in. Bear down. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, bear down. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you.